Yes, Delta Banga soup is different from the Igbo's Ofaku. Hi besties, let's make Delta Banga soup. So first of all, after washing your palm nuts, while washing it, I would advise you wash it so that your paste will be thick. It should not be too watery. It should not be too watery. When you extract that first set of juice, take the thick part, wash it thick a bit. So get your palm juice in the fire. When you put it in the fire, then you go in with your meat broth. As you can see, my meat broth is very little. I steamed my meat to the extent that the broth dried up a bit. It's not that watery, so that my palm juice will not be too watery. So I poured the meat broth in it. Then I went in with my pepper. I went in with my crayfish. Then I now went in with the lemongrass. Lemongrass is nice in this banga soup. After going on my lemongrass, allowed it to boil. Then I went in with my banga soup spice. This is where our this thing is different from the Robo's own is different from the Igbo's own. The spice are two different things, and this spice you will get is from those women selling banga soup spice in the market. As for banga soup spice, that says pepper soup spice in the market. As for banga soup spice, you always have banga soup spice, then pepper soup spice. But that's for those in the Delta region. Oh, for the east, I don't think you will find this spice in the east. So you go in with your spice, with your maggi, with your seasoning cube. It's almost the same thing, just that the spice is different. After going in with that, allowed to boil, then I went in with my catfish, because now you want this catfish to cook properly, and we already washed the palm juice a bit thick. So I went in with the catfish, allow it to boil for some time. Then I went in with my chicken. You can use any protein of your choice, and the reason I didn't go in with the chicken on time, chicken is very soft, so I allowed the catfish to cook to an extent before going in with the chicken. And when you've already put your catfish in the fire, when you're stirring the soup, you stir very, very gently, because you don't want your fish to scatter. For some persons, they might bring out the catfish, in the process of cooking, but me, I don't do that. So I just stir gently so that it won't scatter. And based on my base is always thick, so I easily get my consistency before my soup is already properly cooked. My consistency, I have it, so I don't remove my fish from the fire. So at this point, when you've gone in with all your ingredients, what you do is just to, adjust your taste to see if you have the right taste you want. You adjust your taste. And this process, you just keep stirring. When you're stirring now, you stir with ease so you don't scatter your catfish. You can as well use dry fish to make your banga soup, any protein of your choice. Then another way to stir this thing not to scatter your fish is to shake your pot. If you're using a spacious pot, you shake it. So you see this Delta Banga soup is almost the same thing with Ofaku, but the difference is the spice. The spice. So now I went in. They have this banga stick, but I didn't find this banga stick because I'm making this soup in a worry. And this spice, I brought this spice from Port Harcourt, this banga soup spice you get. So, and happiness was really, she wanted banga soup. I had to make it with the spice I have. Then the leaf you go in with your beletete, dry leaf beletete. They call the leaf beletete. Then you go in with a dry bitter leaf as well, beletete and bitter leaf. For me, I add more of beletete than little bitter leaf so that my soup will not be that bitter. So a more of beletete than a little bitter leaf. If I want to say ratio, I would say ratio 70-30. Let me put it that way. Beletete 70, bitter leaf 30. You get, so the way I balance it. So this is just Delta Banga soup. Is the process, the making with Ofaku is almost the same, but the difference is the spice. The spice they use for Ofaku is different from the spice they use for Delta Banga soup. The spice is what is going to give it in fact total different. The taste is completely different from each other. Delta Banga soup and Ofaku, the taste is completely different from each other. It's not the same taste. Ofaku will go in with inchanwo or scent leaf. Banga soup will go in with beletete and bitter leaf. We'll go in with lemongrass. We'll go in with banga stick. Don't worry, when I travel to Delta or when I get the complete spice, I will make this soup for you guys again. Thanks for watching, guys.